How to lose 42 pounds of pure body fat whilst gaining lean mass naturally in 12 months. My client Reese was completely stuck in that skinny fat trap, not sure whether he should do a cut and lose the weight or go on a bulk and gain muscle, but risk gaining more body fat. And now he has lost over 42 pounds of body fat, he's built up his arms and chest, he's able to eat more flexibly, and as a result, he has improved his confidence, self-belief, and his career. Now, before me and Reese worked together, he did what most people do when they're trying to lose body fat. They go straight to Google, they ask around, maybe they ask people for help at their local gym, and Reese was actually ballsy enough to go and hire himself a personal trainer in person. But after years of trial and error and about 6 months working with a personal trainer, he realized what he was following wasn't quite helping him lose the weight. Cutting down his calories silly low just meant that he was burnt out and kept binging and going over on the weekends. Doing endless amounts of cardio meant that he felt like he was getting skinnier but not necessarily losing much body fat. And with his personal trainer, he was just given the typical stuff of just a 5-minute warm-up, bit of time on the treadmill, load of cardio circuits, and a little bit of the machines that are available at the time. And then whenever he would ask anything about nutritional help, it'd be very, very vague statements like no carbs after 6, try fasting, have a fistful of protein, which that always makes me laugh. Oh, have a fistful of protein and a fistful of carbs. What are you on about? And because of this, he just lost a lot of confidence that he would even be able to do it himself. And he would see other people lose body fat and gain muscle and get lean and just think, maybe it's their genetics, maybe I just haven't got it in me, or maybe they've got some sort of secret he doesn't know about, which just isn't the case. Now at this time, I also worked in the gym as a personal trainer, and Reese noticed that I was getting my clients substantial results. So he decided to reach out to have a quick chat with me one-on-one. And this was just around lockdown COVID time, so this is when I was starting to move my business online, because I found that helping people online, I was able to cover their nutrition, their training, their programming, as well as their form, habits, and all the structure that goes into a transformation, instead of just counting their reps in the gym for an hour. So me and Reese decided to work together to fix the issues that he'd been facing. Now, first things first, the nutrition is a huge factor of losing body fat. You can't just follow a generic meal plan and hope for the best. And even if that does work, it will eventually stop working because you will hit a plateau where your body adjusts to it. And it's just not long-term sustainable around a social life or a busy work life. There's only so much chicken, broccoli, and rice you can eat from a tub before you start to go insane and realize you can't keep doing that for the next 10 months. So with Reese, it was very simple. We decided to aim for a recomposition instead of a cut or a bulk, because a cut would mean that he'd lose a lot more muscle as well as body fat, or a bulk, he wasn't in a position to really gain muscle without gaining more body fat. And even if he did it very, very lean, he still had a lot of body fat he wanted to shift. Whereas with a recomposition, we were able to definitively lose body fat while simultaneously gaining a small amount of muscle. And of course, nutrition is the main key component to actually making this happen. So what we did is we worked out his maintenance calories based on the workout routine we set up for him. And then instead of dropping it down massively low or just cutting his carbs out entirely, we aimed for a smaller calorie deficit, somewhere between 300 and 500 below his active maintenance. And then to make sure we weren't losing any muscle and we were possibly able to still gain it, we made sure that his protein ratio was very, very high and his carbs were still somewhat adequate so that he was able to overload in the gym, but also not rely on proteins for energy. Again, further preventing muscle loss. And then to make sure this got hit every single day, we tracked it. Now, a lot of people don't like tracking. Let's be real, that's a lot of the time because people don't like the accountability. As soon as they track and start seeing that they're eating too much or they're having too much crap, they don't like seeing that reality, so they'd rather not track because then they don't have to make any changes. But if you are tracking, the numbers are guaranteed, which means the results are guaranteed, but you can also still be flexible. There's nothing wrong with following the meal plan, but if that meal plan gets boring or tedious, if you're tracking, you have the ability to swap those meals out for something else, to keep things a bit more interesting, but also to be flexible and social on the weekends, family events, birthdays, whatever it may be. And to be honest with you, you're going to go over your calories once in a while. And if you're tracking it and you can see how much you've gone over, you can either fix it by adding in some extra cardio to shave off those calories, or at least learn how well your body responds to a certain deficit per week. So even if your diet's not great, tracking can still help you refine it and improve it, which is exactly what we did for Reese. Now, to keep things simple as well, because we do want to avoid the decision fatigue of just eating anything and everything and trying to cram it into our macros and calories, we still had a loose meal plan. Now, for Reese at the time, this was a lot of oven chicken because he could just chuck it in, batch create it, so it was easy to fit around his work. Adding convenient snacks like protein yogurts, Greek yogurts, shakes, and rice cakes, etc. All the typical stuff to boost protein and to satisfy its appetite as often as possible. Drinking a lot of our friend de agua, H2O, because that will also help volumize the food that you're consuming, but also help with digestion, breathing, performance, and avoiding injury. So if you're watching this, you haven't drank any water for a while, use that as a little reminder. And then, of course, making sure that his meal timing was built around his appetite preferences. Now, without going down a massive rabbit hole of meal timings, yes, it kind of matters, but it won't make or break your progress. Meal timing is more important for energy distribution as well as appetite management. So Reese's case, it was a medium-sized breakfast, not much for lunch because he's busy at work, and then a larger meal after he finishes work, goes home, goes to the gym, and then eats. So we made sure that the food strategy worked for him by tracking, planning ahead, and adding a small amount of preparation, but still remaining flexible so that he was able to still hang out with friends, enjoy a few ciders once in a while, which made the diet a lot more long-term sustainable. Now, just so I can help you out with this, if you need to know what your numbers should be to achieve a recomposition, you can download my free nutritional blueprint right here. I'll show you how to work out the calories, macros, and what adjustments to make. You can download that below. Now, when it came to his training, we needed to be very specific. His previous personal trainer just made him do box jumps, a bunch of tappy toes, star jumps. And to be honest, that's great for fitness and conditioning, and it's not wrong. But to lose body fat and gain muscle, which is what Reese's primary goal was, this wasn't going to cut it alone. So in the first week, we did an assessment to see what he was comfortable with in the gym and what he could and couldn't do based on his posture and muscle tightness. Because he's quite a tall chap, he did have a bit of kyphosis, so his shoulders were quite tight, his back was a little bit hunched and rounded, so there were certain movements we could and couldn't do. But because we knew this, we could also work on fixing that as well. So we wanted to focus primarily on resistance training, be it free weights, machines, or cables. Now, we don't need to sit here and argue about what's better and what isn't. The best workout plan and the best exercises to overload with are the ones that you can comfortably do with confidence and avoid injury. There's no good trying to do bench press if you feel like you're going to drop it on your chest and one shoulder's dipping. The chest press might be a better option for you, or dumbbell press. Don't overcomplicate the training. You need to keep it very simple so you can focus on the thing that actually matters, and that is overloading those workouts. Now for Reese, because we're trying to lose body fat and gain muscle, the key metric of overload for him was strength, because we're eating less food and we're burning more calories in the gym, but to keep and gain muscle, we need to give his body a reason to adapt and actually make that happen. So getting stronger whilst being in a small calorie deficit is a key metric to focus on, because that will help you gain muscle or at least keep muscle instead of losing it. If we went super light on the movements and did 20 reps, 25 reps, then he's very likely to lose strength and his body will adapt by not necessarily holding on to as much size as possible, which is pretty much what happened when he worked with his previous coach when he just did cardio in a small amount of weights. So we focus on key metrics of overload, mainly strength, and we just track that and make sure that every single week something was improving, being the weight increasing slightly, adding reps with that weight, and then once those two metrics capped out, we reviewed his form, made sure it was correct, and then continued to push. Tracking and adjusting your workouts is absolutely vital to making consistent progress. The first few months in the gym, you can probably wing it and overload everything because it's still new. Once your body gets used to it and becomes adaptive, that's when you need to be a lot more precise and strategic. In fact, I've actually had clients that have worked with me, they've trained in the past on their own for 10 years plus, and they haven't seen progress since the first year. And a lot of the reasons is because they get stuck in the motions, they're not paying attention to the details and the specifics, so they're just looking the same because the body's already accustomed to it. This is why with Reese, we managed to make such a head-turning transformation in just 12 months, because we tracked and reviewed his performance every single week. So log your workouts in a notepad, make sure you're improving some sort of metric over time, and if something ain't working, make a small adjustment. And try and avoid from jumping from program to program. That actually wastes a lot more time than you think. Reese's program was very simple. It was literally a pull, push, legs workout routine until we realized that his shoulders weren't responding very well. So now his workout is pull, push, legs, and shoulders. It's not rocket science. And then of course, the main thing that most people overlook is the lifestyle and the accountability and focus to actually do it. It's very easy to hang out with his friends that would go to the pub all the time and then obviously overconsume alcohol, maybe go and get a Nando's or a takeaway and his calories over. He wakes up hungover, skips the workouts, and it's a downward spiral from there. So to help avoid that, we had accountability by doing a check-in once per week, reviewing his progress once per week, which will encourage him to actually do the best job that he can so that every single week he's seeing that progress. And of course, reviewing his progress photos. Now, it's actually a very powerful thing to have a weekly progress photo, because if you know you're going to look at your physique and see if you've made any progress each week, you're far more likely to make a better decision when it comes to the distractions. If I said to you, you're going to take a picture of yourself and post it on Instagram on Sunday, you're probably not going to go and get wrecked on the Saturday if you want that photo to look good on the Sunday. So it just gives you an extra barrier and an extra reason to stay on track. Plus, because he was working with me directly to get a result, he had a high amount of accountability from me to make sure he gets it done, which is why his transformation was so quick in the first place. If he didn't have the accountability and the structure to get it done, then there would have been several weeks where he would have fallen off, gone backwards, gotten distracted, and just kicked the can down the road and restarted in January like everyone else. But because we had the coaching, because we had the structure and that weekly check-in when we reviewed everything, which meant every single week he was getting a refreshment of what he needs to be focused on each week going forward, he was able to remain focused, avoid the distractions, and build that all-important momentum in the right direction to lose the body fat and gain the muscle. Now, of course, there's a bunch of other little things that go into this, like helping managing motivation, being flexible around those sort of events like holidays and birthdays where you will indulge with more food and alcohol, and then bouncing back from it as quick as we can. But the bottom line is we avoided the generic advice and focused on what works for skinny fat guys. We tracked all the important basic metrics and reviewed it each week to make sure it was clear, precise, and adjusted if we hit a plateau, and then stayed focused with the accountability and with the structure that we had. Because of this, we were able to lose all the body fat, gain all the muscle and completely transform in just 12 months. Completely natural. We didn't even have creatine. Not that creatine makes you not natural. The only thing he had that was a supplement was protein powder. No test boosters, no TRT, no steroids, which you could probably tell from the photo. It's kind of obvious if someone's taking the shortcuts. Now Reece is able to eat whatever he wants, whenever he wants, because he can track it and make it fit his calories. Because he's added more muscle, he's increased his demand for calories. He can now actually eat more food without gaining weight because his maintenance calories are much higher since he's added the muscle tissue. Because he's achieved this physique, he's got a lot more confidence in himself as well. So I wanted to make sure this video gives you good insight on what goes into a transformation and how you can fix skinny fat yourself. If you want to work with me the same way Reece did, there is a link to book a call with me down below if you want my help one-on-one. And if you want to know a little bit more about how you can fix skinny fat, there will probably be a video somewhere which will elaborate a bit more on that. Anyway, let's have some more water, boys. It's very important. Subscribe.